Alright guys, so welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing the PTRL season opener recap. You can see here I've got the calendar pulled up. We actually decided to switch around, or I guess the moderators at PTRL decided to switch around Madrid for Bahrain there at the bottom. There's some issues on the Madrid right now, some quarter cutting and things like that that you can get away with. So I think it was the right choice to go ahead and switch that around. Hopefully the EA and Codemasters get that figured out before we go ahead and race at Madrid. But today we've got Bahrain. Unfortunately in PTRL I am a reserve, so today we'll be in the Red Bull seat, which will be somewhat fitting, seeing what we put down as far as a result today. But we can just hop straight into qualifying.
There's JC. It's JC18. Whew. Yep. Anytime, Brickster. Gold Killer's lap ruined by that. Oh, he's still 2 and some seconds ahead, so might as well finish the lap, I guess. But let's check in on Psychotical starting his hot lap. Psychotical already setting a significantly faster qualifying lap than the rest of the grid. Ooh, the yellow flag has cooked his exit. No, it hasn't gone away before he needed to get onto the overtake. Coasting a bit into this turn. Snapping that car around. Heading into the S's. Another yellow flag is even, but not in a sector affecting him. Even on his time, essentially, so far. Can he possibly improve? His PB, from what I've heard, is just below the 128. He has dipped into the 127s. Epic Baller has now finally joined. Great to see for Spark, as that is his teammate. No, yes, I think it is. Alright, we're chilling. The Audi, knowing that yellow flags are a hindrance. Psychotical almost done with Sector 2. Purple Sector 1, a 1/10 improvement. Could he dip into the 127s? Could Psychotical dip into the 127s? I think it is very likely here. Good amount of coast into the last corner. Really needs to harvest for this last dash to the finish line. It is a 127 by Psychotical! Ramsey, actually I did. So I got...
Here we are on board, going to start our final flying lap, and as you can see, I do not have any audio, and that is because I completely forgot to turn on my audio for the race, or for the qualifying. So for this last run in qualifying, we will not have our audio on board. Unfortunately, you won't be able to hear the beautiful Ford engine going off. But going into the first corner, we go a little bit deep, but we're still up on our delta, a little bit braver on the traction coming out of the corner, deploying the battery with the straight mode all the way up into 8th gear, turning off the pack and lifting a little bit late, in my opinion. My quali PB was a 127.68. So there was definitely a lot of time in this lap, but unfortunately you just weren't able to get it as hooked up as we were previously. Using all of the width on exit there, burning the battery down to about 60%, giving a small lift for this corner, trail braking off, and then getting back on the power, letting the car run to the outside. I really did have to practice quite a bit, learning to let the car flow to the outside of the track and not try and overdrive it onto the middle of the track, right? We have all the track on the outside. You might as well use it to get on the power early and get the steering wheel straight. Going into this right-hander here, we kind of lift off with a little bit of brake to help the car rotate, and then we're deploying the battery up here into 8th gear, put it into none mode before lifting for the final corner to make sure that we have just enough battery to get to the line. We deploy everything here. In my practice, I was doing a much better job of saving battery for the line here, and I think that's what ultimately
I can't be upset with that.
Ultimately cost us the lap time. But as you can see, I'm very, very happy with that. Only being, 0.2 off of your personal best in session. You absolutely cannot get mad about that. So let's jump over to the qualifying results here so we can see what we're looking at here. So I don't have the full grid here, unfortunately, but We qualify in first place with a 127.819. Our teammate for the weekend, JC18, puts in a monster lap and puts down a 128.315. Rockstar Slam in third place, Spark and Bro Joshua in fifth. Very surprised to see him here. He is absolutely picked up in pace significantly over the course of the new regulations. So the new regulations seem to be suiting him quite well. Going down the rest of what we can see here, we've got Nut Tuck in sixth place. Spirit Airlines, who I believe is... I actually don't know off the top of my head. I'll have to... Whoever Spirit Airlines is, if you're watching this, let me know who you are in the comments. Turbo Chicken in 8th. Smiley Face in 9th. Nova Snappin' in 10th. Dust Incredible 11th. Chronico in 12th. Good to see Chronico getting up into 12th after graduating from Division 2 and coming up to Division 1. Trauma in 13th, and the former champion, last year's champion, Berkey, down in 14th place. From what I've heard, the new regulations, he's not the biggest fan, but I believe he does have a much better race. I mean, he is the champion after all, so I do expect him to have a much better race than qualifying. So let's go ahead and hop straight into that.
And away we go. Away we go. PTRL Season 3, D1, Race 1 at Bahrain. Can we keep it clean? Can we keep it clean, boys? Some lockups going on. Baby contacts, but I think we're okay. We are perfectly fine. Off to a good start. It is Nut Tuck spinning out a little bit of contact going on. Eric up into 6th. We're seeing some happenings in the back. Rockstar up into P3. Nova up into P5. Smiley in P6. Look at the position changes. Let's keep this up for a little bit. JC18 dropping all the way down into 8th. 6 positions lost at the very start of the race. Not a great start for him. Is on hards. Needed to get a decent start. Dom up 5 positions immediately.
So here we are on board, right, as the end of the formation lap.
Don't die into turn 1.
You can hear me saying, don't die. That's a good advice. The 5 red lights come on for the season opener in PTRL. We're starting from pole. Our teammates are on the hard beside us. We got Rockstar and Spark behind. We get a pretty okay getaway. A little bit too much wheel spin for my liking. Deploying all of the batteries straight down to the corner. No lifting required here. Just get the car stopped. Leave our teammate some space on the inside, but I didn't realize at the time that he had actually already dropped back into 5th place. Those hard tires, absolutely frigid, cold as Antarctica. So he drops back significantly. Nova Snappin', who was way further down the order, already up a couple of places as we maintain the lead going into the second sector here. A very good start from us as we go into the slow right-hander here before the tricky turn 10. Deploying some battery here to try and create a bigger gap before giving a little bit of a lift for this corner. You have to be careful with these medium speed corners, just because if you do lift too much for them, like for example this corner up here, you lose a lot of lap time potential just from the fact that your average speed is significantly lower going through the corner because you're going at much higher speeds. So we save a little bit of battery here. We kind of run a little bit deep. The cold tire is not, maybe the medium's not exactly fired up yet, but we get a good run through there. We have plenty of battery to deploy down this straight here. We're trying to break the 1 second gap to Rockstar behind, but unfortunately on this lap we do not. So we decide to play the long game here and save our battery going into the second lap. As you can see, deploying the battery all the way down to basically 0% here on the straight. So we're gonna have to take a big lift into turn 1 in order to get a lot of this back. But you can see behind, we actually have broken the gap. So we take our big lift for turn 1, throw it in. We're going a little bit deep again, but not the end of the world. We get a pretty good exit, let the car run out to the outside of the track, open up the straight mode, turn the battery off a little bit early just because we're trying to save some battery here. Accidentally downshift into second gear. That was a bit of a mistake, but now we save some battery through this first part of the lap as we go purple in sector 1, to be expected with how far ahead we are of second place. So we get a nice decent run through there. I think we could have carried a little bit more speed, but not the end of the world. Deploy some battery, but still being a little bit conscious. about saving some so that way we can keep this 1 second gap. On the exit there, we didn't exactly utilize all of the track width, but it's not the end of the world. Deploying up into 8th gear and then giving a little bit of a lift going into this left-hander. Just saving as much battery as possible, getting a very, very nice run through there. And we are well and beyond the gap to 2nd place. So now at this point, it's just going to be down to us putting in consistent laps, keeping the battery charged, and not making any stupid mistakes, so long as there aren't any crazy safety cars or anything like that. So I will jump ahead to the next lap of note, but for now, we just got to keep things consistent.
Fastest lap from the lead, already a second away. We are starting to see the esports, a little bit of a winding from Spark. It is Smiley getting the run on him, side by side. Ooh, going deep is Spark a little bit, kind of blocking the turn a little bit. I wouldn't say dirty, but a little interesting to say the least. Here we go. 2x2, 2x2 wide. Smiley holding the inside. Oh, kind of gets shoved a little bit. A little dangerous there. We're seeing some roughing and bumping, and Alpine going off track a little bit. Here we go, into the S's. Do they try to maintain some kind of move through here? That is almost suicidal. Bit of a small train forming. No longer are DRS trains a thing, and Aston Martin setting a move up the inside. Overtake potentially made. Dude, this is some insane tight racing. This is aggressive. This is violent. This is Spirit Airlines flying ahead of Spark Kashira. Get it? Because, anyways, right now, Sai massively outpacing Rockstar at the moment. I don't think Rockstar is too bothered by that. Just more so worried about, staying at second at the very least. We know Sai is fast. We shall see how it goes. So Berkey getting ahead of Shawarma as well. There's going to be so much action that we miss with these new regulations. There's just so much racing to be done. And Aston Martin going off track a little bit. Definitely a warning. If not, a bit of an advantage gained by going off track.
Here we are going into lap 6. We've managed to build a 6-second gap to the cars behind. They've been fighting a little bit, but you can see in the final corner that a Ferrari has actually spun and slowed down on track, which does cause a VSC. So we just got to make sure that we maintain a positive delta during this VSC. And you can just see, you can see me begging for it to stay just a VSC, as if you recall from my Formula Fan Championship Brazil round, round 6, if you go and check that video out, there were 3 safety cars that really hamstrung us because our race pace was so sitting really higher, but we ended up getting screwed over by safety cars. So we do not want safety cars. We want to build as much of a gap as possible. The safety car already coming in, our gap is a bit high. We're trying to kind of time it perfectly so we can come out of the corner here, but we have to lift a little bit to not be at risk. And whenever the virtual safety car came out, we were around 6 seconds ahead. And unfortunately, we don't exactly gain too much time under VSC. Just because of our bad getaway there. I think that there was at least a second in that getaway, but not the end of the world. We just go back to what we were doing before, keep putting in consistent laps, and we'll check back in whenever something else happens. So here we are on lap 14 of 29, and we decide to go into the pits. We, after that VSC, kind of decided, okay, we're gonna extend a little bit in case there is a safety car, and we have the gap behind, so we're not really concerned about being undercut all too much. We'll have a super big tire advantage for the rest of the race, so you can just see 15 seconds ahead of our teammate and then 32 seconds ahead of the field, so we're just cruising to first place so long as we don't make any mistakes. So we come out of the pits in first place, and we just have to put in a good lap on these hard tires to get them warmed up, and we should be good to go so long as nothing crazy happens.
I mean, these guys running into some traffic. Oh, bro, Joshua sending the move on 2 people at once. Very, very risky, very ballsy. Has the jump, I think, on both cars. It is a McLaren going into the pits. That is Turbo Chicken. Rockstar getting the slipstream, though. Ooh, these Mercedes, this entire pack just fighting tooth and nail for position. Yellow flag once again. I think it is Gold Killer again. Dude, Rockstar is really pushing Smiley right now. Needs to get ahead of him. Is ahead of him. Has the outside line. Can he get a better exit, though? Ooh, a little bit of knocking there. I wonder what's going on. Let's keep her cool, Rockstar. Let's keep her cool. Gold Killer, 3-second time penalty. Some signs being destroyed. It is now Smiley putting up defense on Rockstar to prevent him from catching up to Bro Joshua. Playing the team game right now. Okay. What have I just witnessed?
Here we are going into the end of lap 15. So the end of that lap, the hard tire is starting to kind of come in a little bit. But as you can see at the bottom of the screen and on the clip previously, a safety car comes out. Rockstar and one of the Mercedes coming together and taking each other out of the race. So now we're not in a great position on these hard tires. They're going to be freezing cold when the safety car ends, and there's only a couple of laps left. There'll only be 10 laps left after the safety car ends, but we do beat the safety car out of the pit lane. So that it actually is very good for us, as we will be able to everybody else is come around and make a pit stop to the end here. Onto new mediums. Everybody behind deciding to pit, so us now having the option to go ahead. JC with a drive-through, unfortunately, picking that up under safety car, and so unfortunately his race has been basically derailed, because after this safety car is over, he's going to have to serve that drive-through in 3 laps, and he's going to drop to the back of the field. So with his wing damage and his wing replacement that he's going to get, we want to make sure that... Oh wait, he doesn't... I don't know why I was saying that. He doesn't have a wing damage to replace, but we just want to make sure that we manage this gap here at the top left, as you can see, because we do not want to double stack. I don't think it would end up making a difference, but it is, you know, you obviously don't want to double stack in any situation. So we are just coming around. He builds up the gap to 6 seconds, so good job by Gregor to build that up for us. So we come around the final corner and just keeping the delta positive, keeping things conservative. The hard tires only seeing 1 lap in this race, so we put on the mediums to start the race, went to the hard tires for 1 lap, warmed them up, and basically said, okay, pit wall, here you go, you guys can have these back. Yes, okay, perfect. We thought you did that perfectly. You did that perfectly. As you can see, it was timed almost perfectly. There was a slight minor delay on the entry, but nothing to complain about whatsoever. That was a great job by the AI pit crew. Damn it, dude. So we come out in P2 behind our teammate who has to serve a drive-through, so a net P1. Our plan on this safety car restart is going to be to extend this drive-through for as long as possible, and hopefully allow us to build any amount of gap as possible to the cars behind, so that way JC can come out of the pit lane and have some chance of making up some positions. And so, you know, we'll check back in once the safety car restart happens.
Always have to leave the space. All right, Psychotic, or no, JC18 actually leading the race restart. How is this turn 1 gonna go? Are we going? Not yet. Should be going soon though. There we go, we're off. We might see some carnage into this turn 1. There's a lot of overlap. There's death at the back, and a shawarma dead, I think. Oh my god. What happened at the back? There's somebody else dead. It's a Haas. It's kind of like it's Spark. Oh my god, what is going on in this race?
So here we are on board after the safety car restart. Us getting a very, very good getaway as compared to the people behind. Already a second gap to Epic Baller on the hard tires. I believe he was on old hards, so he was going to act as a bit of a buffer for me and Gregor to sort of run away here as much as possible, just so, like I said before, JC can serve his drive-through and hopefully come out not in last place.
Okay, I'm coming
So
fast.
we're just trying to do the best laps possible as Gregor lets us come through so we can give him overtake and use our superior race pace to tow him along on these next couple of laps.
Let's go.
So we just gotta drag our teammate as fast as we can around the circuit and hopefully build up a decent enough gap so that he can come out in a good position. Here we are rounding the final corner on lap 22. Our teammate having to pit this lap in order to serve his drive-through. So we managed to build a 3.5-second gap. Not the end of the world if that needs to happen. Him going in now to serve his drive-through. So now all we can really do is put in the absolute best laps possible all the way until the end and hope for no more stoppages.
Yeah, this is looking like, you know, if JC18 had not gotten that drive-through, is 100% a Red Bull 1-2. 1,000% a Red Bull 1-2. Yeah, JC18 really benefiting from the safety car. I think he started on the hards, did he not? He did. And then the safety car came out at just a perfect time for him to pit and take a free one stop. Oh, getting a little dicey here. Hey! Nah, no, you can't do that, bro, Joshua. You cannot do that at all. Caught in 4K, broski. What was that? That had to have been intentional. There is no way that wasn't. That is wild to watch live, dude. Cannot be doing that. There goes JC18 serving his drive-through, losing so many positions. Losing all the positions, actually. Up into second place, though. Turbo Chicken ahead of Bro Joshua. They're battling it out. Hey! Oh my god, what are we doing? Dude, this is way too chipper of a race for it being the first race of the season. Oh my god, I think that was a little bit of a get back from Turbo Chicken. I think it was Bro Joshua who bumped Turbo Chicken that we saw live. And then, you know, maybe Turbo Chicken getting back at him, showing him, hey, you can't do that shit to me, pal. I'm going to retaliate. Spark and Chronico kind of one-on-one right now. Yeah, this train right here is really the most action-packed at the moment. It is Turbo Chicken up the inside. And then Berkey trying to also make a move at the same time. Ooh, these two at the back. It is Bro Joshua and Nut Tuck side by side. Turbo pulling onto the inside. Gets the better traction, and then Bro Joshua seemingly getting better traction as well. Might have a run on Dom. Dom kind of protecting the inside, it seems like. Ooh, Berkey trying to chance it. Gets a 3-second time penalty because of it. Very well could see a ticket being filed for that. Whoever files is, you know, I don't know. Why would you do that? Bro Joshua, 3-second time penalty! He is on equal terms. And overtaken by Nut Tuck. Nut Tuck looking for his chance here in the last lap. Bro Joshua slipping up a lot. Losing so many positions down the straight out of battery. And picking up that time penalty. Hey! Can't be doing that. You can't do that. I'm pretty sure you need to use 2 compounds, K-Faz. I'm no expert in F1 rules. I get it wrong quite frequently, but I'm pretty sure you need to use 2 compounds. Unless it rains, I think is the rule. Oh, Nut Tuck with a bit of a switchback move on Berkey. Has the better exit now ahead. Doesn't have to worry about the guys behind him as they have time penalties. And then Berkey trying to continue to send a move, gain some time, but honestly, it's too little too late. You have the time penalty. There's not much more you can do about it now. just don't get overtaken by Bro Joshua or Epic Baller. That's your prime directive, Mr. Berkster. Oh, I just realized that thing's been up for so long. I'm telling you, I get distracted. Bro Joshua trying to force a move. Has the slipstream, better exit than Nuttuck, or than Berkey, I mean. Out of battery. But it is Psychotical, your race winner at the season opener. Season 3 of PTRL. Season 3. Dom, 3rd place. Nuttuck, 4th. Bro Joshua. Oh, Berkey, I guess had more penalties that I didn't see till the end. Nova, 5th. Bro Joshua, 6th. Baller, Berkey, Beecham, Examined Games. Rounding out the top 10. But points do go all the way down to 20, I think. Gold Killer in 18th. Shorman, 17th. Oof.
Here we are, rounding the final corner to come home in dominant fashion. A bit of squirrely swerving there on the final corner, but we do come home to finish in P1
What a race.
in dominant fashion, 9 seconds ahead of 2nd place. Our teammate managing to climb back
think
up
there's still
into
a lot to be
13th
proud
on track. I believe he gets some places off of penalties here. Yep, jumps up to P11 off of the time penalties, so
and there's gonna be other penalties
not
coming
a
too, so
bad
if you went for that
result
drive-through,
for the
you would
team,
be in good.
considering that points go down all the way to last place. So we will still be scoring points, very good points today. If you look at the top 10, you can see that there are no double top 10 finishes outside of Ferrari in 9th and 10th. So we'll be in pretty good shape. So let's jump over to the standings and stats for the race. So jumping into the session statistics, you can see we did qualify in P1 ahead of our teammate. This is just going to be the qualifying order if anybody is interested in that. Here's the full race results. You can see the net position finishes. Dom getting a fantastic race. Epic Baller and Steve Beecham with fantastic races. Really everybody in the top 10 making up a significant amount of places from where they started. So fantastic races for all of these people. Jumping over to the attack rating, this is just a statistic showing how good you were at overtaking somebody. You can see that Bro Joshua had the highest rating. So good job to him. Dom and Berkey having similar ratings also makes sense considering that they made up so many positions. So very good job by them. Consistency rating, obviously we topped the charts here. It wasn't even really close. Berkey had the closest rating after us, but yeah, only 900ths of a difference per lap. That's pretty good. We'll take that. It's less than a 10th of a difference. So our rating 8.7, sector 1 rating 9.2, sector 2 our weakest sector at 8.1, and our sector 3 very good at a 9.0. Fastest laps of the race, you can see I'm up here 4 times. Shawarma pitting onto the softs to steal the fastest lap away from us, unfortunately. So we'll just have to settle with that. It wasn't going to be a grand slam anyway, due to the safety car, just because our teammate came out in front of us. So just unfortunate, but not the end of the world. There's plenty of opportunities to get the fastest lap and whatnot later. So longest stints, Epic Baller on the hards, Chronico, Turbo Chicken, taking those hards a long time. Defense rating, obviously we have the top rating just because we didn't really get overtaken at all on track. So we do have the 100% win rating. Dom with a fantastic defense rating. Makes sense as he was moving up quite a bit. And Steve Beecham with an 80% win rate, which is very good. In terms of race pace, obviously, once again, it makes sense that we're at the top of the charts. We did manage to win the race by 10 seconds over the course of 10 laps. So us being plus 4/10 every single lap does make sense. But Sparkashira and Dom with excellent race pace. Here are the top battles. I won't get too deep into this because I honestly don't know who was doing what, but these are the stats for anybody who's interested. So after that race, we head into round 2, which should be at Coda. So I will be back next week for that. Let's see if our hot streak can continue, if we can continue to dominate in the same fashion that we did. So I appreciate you guys for watching if you made it this far, and I will see you guys in the next video.